Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Masks Monday. Hopefully free of dad jokes, because seriously, we took the sanity loss because you don't have to. So, it is session 34 of Masks of Nyarlathotep. Let's go round the table and stop pointing at everybody and naming names. Or are you just impersonating me? I don't know. But I'm going to start off with Pranit Singh Dillon, if you please.
Oh, yes. Like last week and a couple of weeks before that, my name is Pranit Singh Dillon. I'm a former soldier that met Perry Astor, another couple of investigators, and decided to embark in this merry trip that proved to be quite a deadly one, because since he joined, the 3 people passed. So hopefully he won't really have to witness other early departures. Let's see about that.
Hopefully. And we have Charles Barrington-Smythe.
Yes, well, I'm Charles Barrington-Smythe. I've not been with this illustrious group as long as the others. Although upon hearing Pranit's description there, I've realized something. He's a complete jinx. He said that since he joined, 3 people have died. That's a bit of a worry. But I'm surviving just.
Yes, for now. And Annie Jones.
Oh, hello. My name's Annie Jones. Oh, right. Yes. I should talk more. I was a researcher, an occult researcher at the Penhew Foundation, and I became suspicious of my employers and since turned tail on them, actually, and I'm now investigating them for, well, being occult, would you believe? Would have seen that coming. Anyway, here I am. I've joined this group of misfits, and we're now researching and investigating and, well, being out in the field. It's all rather exciting.
And finally, Perry Astor.
Perry Astor, Canadian explorer or ex-explorer, more investigator now, or currently invalid. Is on this trip since New York. Has survived where others didn't, and maybe only just. He is in a wheelchair currently, hoping to gain some rest and come back.
You're welcome, by the way.
Recap. Oh, thank you very much, Pranit.
Yes, well, certain characters would have survived if it wasn't for Perry, of course. I believe we're going to one of their funerals tomorrow.
We are going to a funeral tomorrow. Yes.
Going there.
I don't think Annie knows what actually happened, though. But
yeah, would you like to give the summary, Perry?
The summary. Okay, so session 33, I believe, was still Friday the 20th. It started with us at the Nairobi Star. And we are aware we have a bit of a deadline, which is Tuesday the 24th, which is going to be the new moon. So we opened with talking to Colonel Endicott, who was at the Star, complaining about the stories in the paper that was ruining his business. They've been talking about some missing people, and he claims the missing people were caused by animal attacks. But this has been 10, 12 people over the last couple of years. It started apparently in 1919 after the Carlisle expedition arrived and stayed there for a while. We were also told by the owner of the Nairobi Star that there is an evil or bad tribe in the area called the Boyova, I believe it is. We discussed, after the colonel left, we discussed visiting his lodge to follow up what the Carlisle expedition did, because obviously they must have been there for some sort of reason. So we left this. As we left the Star, we decided to investigate the tea shop. or the tea wholesaler. So we decided to go back to the hotel to freshen up before we did that. But when we got back to the hotel, it was extremely busy. There was a lot of European guests arriving, waiting for check-in. We didn't know why, because this was quite extraordinary from the last time we was there. Annie approached a couple of people to find out why they were here, and they were there saying they were there for safari, but from what she could tell, it appeared to be a lie. So we decided then to move to the tea shop, and we went to the Hampton House Hotel to keep watch on the tea shop because we could see it from there. And Pranit's plan was to keep the owner out of the way by asking her out while Charles and Annie broke in and Perry kept watch outside. So we eventually, after a bit of discussion, set up some sort of signal from Pranit to let us know there was an all clear. And then we just sat down at the hotel to wait for Pranit to come to ask his date out. And we talked to the owner, which is Alexander Barnes, and he talked about the Carlisle expedition, which stayed at his hotel. And they talked apparently about the moon and the stars quite a bit. He described Aubrey as being young and cocky. He didn't seem to know her patient was pregnant, but he said she seemed quite plump at the time. Meanwhile, we were doing this discussion. Pranit went to see the owner of the tea shop, who she was still open, but he arranged to meet her at 7. And as he left, he managed to look around the building to locate a side door that we could perhaps break into. But during that time, he bumped into a couple of guys wearing the red sash people again. And they entered the shop through the side door. So Pranit came back to warn us there was possibly some guards in the shop after hours. He then headed back to the shop to pick up his date. And we talked through various distraction methods for quite an extended period. Pranit went back to the shop, had a cup of tea and a chat before they left. I had a quick game of chess, I believe. And while he was there, actually, he used the time in the room playing chess and dropping various pieces on the floor to notice a gap under a barrel in the floorboards. And then he actually left with his date for the evening, and we moved into the shop. As it happened, we didn't actually need the distraction because the two guards actually left. And then we reached the highlight of the whole session, which was the break-in. Charles broke the door down, and Annie and Charles went in through the side door, and while Perry kept watch. They went initially to the back room, where Annie found the trapdoor under the barrel of tea. Under the trapdoor, there was a small cellar. In the cellar, there was a very distinct smell of decay. There was a single pillar in the middle of the room with manacles, and an altar with a black statue, and a chest. In the chest, Annie found a meat cleaver, a robe, and a jar of very moist body parts, an old book that seemed to be in Indian. Meanwhile, all this was going on. Pranit was having a very nice meal with his date, relaxing and taking it easy. Annie and Charles actually found some human bones buried under the dirt floor of the cellar. And while Charles tried to break the statue, Annie went upstairs to check out the other room that was locked, and it seemed that the tea shop owner was actually sleeping there. There was a bed and some personal effects in the room. Pranit finished his meal, had a leisurely walk back, but when he got back, Perry was outside. Annie and Charles were still inside. So Perry ran to the, or wheeled to the door in his chair, shouted in. Annie heard him because she was up on that level. Shouted to Charles to leave as soon as possible. And yeah, Annie left. Charles struggled to get out of the room, out of the building. He was taking a long time struggling up the stairs because he'd had a little bit too much to drink, perhaps. And it was taking so long. Annie thought, I have to make another distraction. So she went round to the front and tried to hold up Pranit with her derringer, which didn't actually scare anybody. She made a little bit of a fumble and dropped the gun. And she thinks she showed her face to Pranit and his date. So she grabbed the gun and left. Charles finally made it out of the building, and he wheeled Perry away to the other street, the back of the building, and that's where we left it.
Yes, but before we decide what happened to what you've done with the wares and things, make your improvement rolls for luck.
3.
You do it with the 8 as well, Perry.
I rolled mine already.
All right, and
Okay.
I'm adding 5. I'm adding 5 luck.
Oh. Have you done yours, babe?
Yes.
The one time I needed to fail a fucking roll.
Okay, so to double check, again, Sanity has pretty much remained the same. So Annie's on 58, Perry's on 90, Pranit's on 83, Charles is on 48.
Yep.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so Annie, your luck is still 75? Yep. Perry, your luck is now 26 plus whatever it is you've got.
Yep, 29 on one now.
What, even with the improvement roll as well?
I failed the improvement roll.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Pranit, what's your luck now?
16.
16. And Charles?
I'm on 36.
You're
No
still-
improvement
Okay.
because I failed my improvement roll because for the only time possibly this session I actually succeeded in a luck roll.
There's this amazing invention called a die jail or a dice jail. You may want to invest in one. Okay, so I was kind of intending to just sort of skip towards the Saturday. However, I wouldn't mind knowing sort of a bit as to what you want to do with all the stuff you've just acquired. In fact, what I'll say, Pranit in particular, as you run round the side down the alleyway, now that Taan Kaur is out of sight, you do hear the sound of her reacting, sort of exclaiming something in Punjabi, screaming, like obviously
I'm just
she's now
going.
reacting to her being stolen. Yeah, fine, whatever, but you hear it.
All right.
So just to remind you, you have a few quite bulky things, including a robe, a big book, a cleaver. I know that you left a jar behind, and the statue, you smashed that up.
Yeah.
So what are you planning to do with this stuff? Just kind of keep it at your hotel? Anything in particular?
Well, we're taking it back to the hotel. We can decide once we got there, but everyone needs to see it, including Pranit.
Well, Pranit certainly needs to see the book because he's going to be the only one who can read it.
He also needs to know that his girlfriend is a cannibal.
I'm not making jokes, but yeah, I figured something of sorts.
Yeah. As for how we get the stuff in there, that's relatively easy. Perry's carrying all of it on his lap, basically, isn't he?
I can have some of it under. I can have a blanket over my knees, perhaps. And some.
Well, we got the robe there. We can just get all
You
the
can
stuff.
use the robe as a blanket.
Use the robe as a blankie.
Okay.
Make him interesting to spot for all the other cultists with this guy with us.
Okay.
Nobody's
Rope
going to
being used.
suspect people leaving a burglary scene with a guy in a wheelchair with a blankie on his lap that's fashioned out of a robe that happens to be hiding some stuff. It's just like the least suspicious thing ever.
That's why they'll never believe it. It's too obvious. It's the ultimate double bluff.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you make it back to the hotel. Sort of getting on to mid-late evening now, and it's naturally less busy in the lobby. There's still a couple of people that appear to be sort of on sort of nice seats, smoking or drinking, and there's more people in the bar as well. You notice, but it's fairly quiet.
Wheeling Perry through. Wheeling him through. I'm not wheeling him through with speed, nor am I going slowly. I'm just going at a nice pace, because I reckon if I go too slow or if I go too fast, someone's going to go, "What the hell is he going too slow or, so fast?" Whereas just wheeling in casually.
Having said that, you have been sort of running at a fair pace for about, well, actually more than half a mile. So you're probably a bit red in the cheeks at least, panting and things.
Yeah, I've don't worry, I've got the excuse for that.
Well, you do, but maybe the others don't. But anyway, you get back, get the keys and things like that.
Perry, dear boy, I hate to say this, given your incapacitated condition at the moment, dear boy, but you might want to lose some of the pounds. You're a bit much to push, dear boy. It's just.
That didn't was much to me. Oh, okay. I hate to be an imposition on you.
Oh no, not an imposition. Just
just rude, not imposition.
The skinniest of the lot of you, but okay.
Just rude.
Told you, I've got the perfect excuse for why I'm puggled.
Yep.
We have a different definition of perfect, though. I'm afraid.
So anyway, you get to your room without any problems, or your suite/suites, because of course Annie has a slightly different room and things. But anyway, so is there anything that you want to do tonight before you head to sleep?
Yeah, I'm going to the drinks dispenser.
Apart from that, but yes.
I'm having a quick glance at the book. If they tell me that's in Indian, allegedly.
Okay.
I do speak Punjabi, though.
Bring Pranit up to speed with everything that happened.
Yep. Okay.
While he's relaxing at the evening meal, yeah. I would like to do Blessing of Basat if I could just sit quietly in my room for a while. And
if you're going to cast it, at least get the name of the god right. Jesus. Basat?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is that?
Basat, yeah.
It's like the Mrs. Bouquet version of Bast.
Very possibly.
Yes.
Very possibly.
Yes.
Mrs. Bucket.
Mrs. Bucket.
It's bouquet.
Forget what I've got to do to actually.
Power
roll. Okay.
Yes.
Power. What's my power?
Isn't that just the first time? Every time with this particular
No. With this one, with the first time it's a hard POW, but that's every spell. With this one, it is still a regular POW because you need to convince Bast that he's worth healing up.
Worthy.
I failed last time and got to scratch my cheek for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is 33. It's a well ender.
Okay, yeah. So she very much responds to you, and you get the D6 back of sanity and HP.
Oh, lovely.
Clearly, she wasn't offended by the fact that you mispronounced her name.
No.
Obviously, she can understand the condition I'm in.
Yeah.
It's
There is that.
No. What it is, the condition you're in, you're more submissive, therefore she's more likely to hop onto you and start nuzzling you.
the cat god is a lot more accepting than the rest of my team.
Well, stop killing undead
I ne-
players. That's I'll say to that.
I never
I
did or
say-
said anything to you.
Dare I
That
Never.
is
say-
true. That is true. That is true.
Meow. Right, what have you got?
Who, me?
Yes.
Yeah,
You just
you
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
roll the 6.
For hit points, I got a 4.
You got 4 hit points, and what's your sanity now?
My sanity would be 94.
94. Well, la-di-da. Okay, Pranit, you wanted to read the book. Charles, you're just getting somebody to send up some drinks since champagne vending machines are not a thing.
I assumed. Well, I assumed being as we are in the penthouse suite that it would have its own sort of minibar.
I mean, it's not going to be a minibar like now because
Yeah, but there might be a small selection of various spirits.
yeah, okay. I was for some reason automatically thinking it has to be in a fridge, but you're right. No, it wouldn't be. So yeah, it'll be a few kind of bottles of spirits on display and things. So, yeah, you have them.
I am thirsty. I'm about to get very, very unthirsty.
The way you're pushing
Annie?
that wheelchair, I mean, I had enough already.
I am perfectly capable of holding my liquor. I'm just not as
I'm not-
capable of holding wheelchairs.
I'm not drunk. You are drunk.
Annie, anything you're doing?
I would like to make sure all the stuff we just nicked isn't on obvious display in their room.
Okay.
I'm going to move it into the bottom of the wardrobe or something.
Okay. So
Yeah.
basically, there's like sort of slightly private areas for each person, but it's still in one room. They do have like it's not a wardrobe, but there's like a chest for each person, like quite a big chest, so you could like put it in there. There's room under the bed. There's a small like bedside table with a little drawer for each person as well.
Haven't we've got our luggage, haven't we? We've got our travel trunks and stuff.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's what I was
we could just-
thinking.
We could
Maybe
lock
it
it in
is.
there.
Yeah, maybe it is better to put it in the luggage.
To
I'll
lock
do
it
that.
then.
Yeah, I was going to ask actually. I mean, what kind of locks have you got? Are they just kind of a snap lock, or is it more like
Well, back then it would just
It would
be
just be a
padlocks,
key,
wouldn't
wouldn't
it?
or padlock? Yeah,
Something like that, yeah.
something. Okay.
The travel trunks were quite sturdy and solid, weren't they?
They were sturdy, yes. They were indeed. Okay, so with regards to this book, Mr. Dillon,
Yes.
I did hear what you said, and that yes, you can speak Punjabi. It's not in Punjabi, but it is in Hindustani or Hindi. Actually, I beg your pardon, Hindi. So again, what I'll say is that you can potentially read the majority of it, but if you can give me a Punjabi roll.
All right.
which
Hopefully
is
this
two-
won't suck ass.
Nope.
Can you just recall if I do still have my bonus die? Because I believe I spent it, but I don't
did.
remember if I
Yeah.
regained it. I did not,
Yeah,
right?
no one's got their bonus die, I'm afraid.
Screw it, I'm spending 7 luck. I'm going down to 9.
Okay, to do a regular path. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Oh, it is there. Okay. Good to know. So you have a little read through it, and basically, you get from the title. The best translation for it is called The Black Tome, which is, of course, incredibly generic sounding. It seems to be very much kind of based around prophetic stuff and This thing keeps getting mentioned called the small crawler. And I'm also going to give an annotation as well. However, I wouldn't mind just checking if there's anything else for this in the tome section, but I don't think there is. Oh, there is. Okay. Why doesn't it give a reference in the book, though? I don't know. Okay, so in terms of what it looks like as well, it's bound in black calf skin. There's been a sort of an iron clasp originally keeping it shut, but it's been broken off. You think this is a very old book, a good sort of few hundred years old at least. The author appears to be somebody called Alsophocus. You don't really know his nationality, and it appears to be a translation of stuff of his confessions. You think that he might have been a necromancer, actually. Alsophagus. A bit like a sarcophagus, but owl. Let me just see if I can type with one hand.
No, it's fine. I get it.
Name kind of sticks in the throat. Okay, so you think he's a necromancer, allegedly living in the land of Erongil, whatever that is. It's a place lost, though, to myth and fable. The book contains recordings of numerous magical rites and spell castings, a bit like a diary of his magical experience and practice and things. And in later parts, there is an account where Alsophocus purports to send his mind to Sharnoth, quote, beyond time and earthly realms, where Nyarlathotep rules in a great ebony palace, I beg your pardon. And again, this name, the small crawler, also seems to paraphrase who Nyarlathotep is. You also notice this particular quote, which seems to correspond with a date in the Hindu calendar for the next eclipse, which is January the 14th, 1926.
How far ahead is that from where we are?
It is March, well, it's coming into March the 21st.
Of 1925.
Yes.
Yeah, next year.
I need to get married and laid.
This is the quote that you kind of spot with the date, which says, "And then shall the gate be opened as the sun is blotted out. Thus the small crawler will awaken those who dwell beyond and bring them. The sea shall swallow them and spit them up, and the leopard shall eat of the flesh in Rudraprayag in the spring." In fact, I've just realized, beg your pardon, that'll probably help because you can't read it. There we go. You think that the leopard, you know, it's something to do with an Indian legend. If you want to kind of know more about it, you can give me a no roll, but it does vaguely ring a bell.
No roll, yeah. I'm going to do that. No. I can't put my finger on it.
Okay, yeah, you think maybe it's part of an old legend or something, but a leopard being mentioned here does sort of make sense, given it's in Hindi.
All right. Again, it is the date is January 1926.
January the 14th, 1926. Okay. So you gain 3 mythos points.
Super smart.
I beg your pardon.
I'm super smart. I got 12.
I heard you. I tilted not the mic. Apologies.
All right.
That's why I said excuse me. I have forgotten how it works with books.
Well, given that I did the skim read, I should gain additional mythos points by the the end of the complete.
Yeah, that's not the
Readings.
bit I'm worried about. I'm talking about the potential sanity loss here.
Usually it's wherever
Usually
the book
it is
listed,
stated.
it will state if there's any sanity loss.
Well, it is stated, but it's still. I'm just making sure that that's how much you have to lose from a skim, or if that's the thorough, because there's not really an alternative. So
Is it that
one
much?
assumes.
Well, if
one
it
one
is not
assumes it's thorough.
specified, if it's not specified, I do rule this as you lose the sanity while skim reading, but you don't lose any more while studying. As in the first impression,
okay.
if it's not otherwise stated, but it's up to you.
I can't quite remember, I'm afraid, so I'm just going to have a look. Reading. I don't know, by the way, if you've had this terrible weather from today.
Mm. It's
Yeah,
pretty rough out.
it's been weird. It's not. It's been a lot chillier. It almost felt like winter again.
Yeah, same here. Last week was shit, literally.
Clearly, it's
holiday.
omens of the dreaded old ones about to re-emerge.
We shall
What,
see.
Thatcher?
Yes.
I'd rather have Cthulhu.
They're using this new statue to summon her, are they?
There's some dark part of the dark web that's probably coming up with that fucking conspiracy theory right there. Such as the lack of education.
Oh, where
Someone will believe it.
Oh, it's in right. Yeah, it's in the magic section, isn't it? Yeah. Because grimoire and magic are separate and stuff. Right. Yeah. Okay. Book.
Reminds me of the time where I cracked an anti-Thatcher joke at work, and then after the meeting, because I was at I was subcontracting for this company, and after the meeting, my boss, who was in the room, says, "Thatcher's grandson was in that meeting." Oh dear! Sucks to be him.
Oh, the reader now automatically loses the sanity cost of the tome. No sanity roll is made, and that's for a skim read or an initial read. I'm just wondering though if it's only the same as the mythos though, because 2d6 sanity loss is a lot for initial
Not if you
read.
roll low.
How much?
2d6.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That seems a lot for a skim. I would say that was a thorough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but then
but
you don't.
given
trying to work out.
given
you
the
don't
fact that
tend-
it's rights and spell casting, that's. I'm sorry, Becky. I didn't want to speak over you. I wasn't hearing correctly.
That's okay. Carry on.
No, I was done.
Well, the point I was going to make was that when you lose sanity for reading a book, if you then when you repeatedly read a book and try to learn spells or whatever from it, you generally don't think about the sanity loss because you've already dealt with it.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't lose it partially; you'd only lose all of it. Otherwise, every time you try and learn a spell, you'd be shaving off
Yeah.
sanity. So you do it once on first reading.
I mean, that is what it says.
Yep. So we'll pick Pranit up from the roof later while he's naked and shouting and singing.
Okay.
Your notions of sanity are interesting.
Based
I
on
just
lived
wanted to make
experiences
sure
rather
because
than this random D10 roll.
we haven't done it for a while, and for some reason I thought there were like 2 different sanity rolls, which would make sense with the this is how much mythos you get in initial, and then this is how much you get for the whole thing. And it was like, no, just 2d6. I'm like, okay.
It is a lot.
It is a lot.
Mm.
We better get a lot of information from that book.
But it must be an important book.
I mean, Pranit better get a lot of information from that book.
It's all on you, Pranit.
I'm taking one for the team.
Absolutely no pressure upon you whatsoever.
Bring it on, DM.
Yeah, all right. Make it 2d6.
Oh, do I roll? Or do you roll?
Yep.
Yeah, the
2d6.
DM likes to absolve himself of responsibility.
Does he not? I mean,
You
does he not
coward.
does he not make a sand check? And if he fails, he loses 2d6.
No, not for
No.
books.
If you read books, you just plain out lose them.
This is why I wanted to check.
And that's a 7.
Okay, make an intelligence roll. Hopefully you fail.
I'm dumb. I failed gladly.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so you still lose a 7.
Spend your last 9 luck to pass it.
You can't spend luck. And you want to fail. Stop being a troll.
I don't have enough luck to spend though, because I got 65 and I rolled an 88,
Yeah,
and I got 9 luck. So there's no way in hell I can do that.
but
You want
regardless,
to fail it anyway.
you don't lose. You don't spend luck on sanity, and you want to fail your intelligence roll. So, okay. So, what I'll say is that you feel very out of sorts the rest of the evening. You're perfectly lucid and able to communicate with everyone, but you just want to get to bed. Like it's messing with your mind. All the stuff that you're learning about. It kind of conflicts as well with a lot of your beliefs in a way that you didn't think it would, but it's kind of bringing up a lot of stuff from your youth and like your roots as well, which is kind of messing with you a bit. So yeah, you feel very much compelled to just go to bed.
And that's what I do. I'm off to bed.
Perry will make sure that he's comfortable and he's got water beside his bed and anything else he needs.
Okay.
Meow. Yeah. So I'd say that given how much that messed me up badly, I will try and read it thoroughly as soon as possible, as soon as I have enough time to do so.
Yeah. As soon as.
I assume the rest of us will sort of like stay in a bar or in someone's room over drinks, talking about the night's events. And,
Probably not in a bar. No, that's public.
No, we're
oh, of course, yeah. The
we
hotel's
have a
really
nice
busy,
we have a nice selection of spirits. You can have a nice glass of that. You can have a nice glass of that. I will have a nice bottle of this, and with a glass, I'm not a Neanderthal.
Does that mix with the port you were drinking earlier, Charles?
Let's find out. I'm happy to experiment. Yes,
dear.
it's going down rather smoothly, I must admit. Yes.
Okay.
It's blended.
if we
Not
talk
bad.
over these nights, the events, this statue you saw in the cellar, would it be worth maybe looking that up to see what it was a statue of if we get a chance?
I can't remember. It was last week.
It was like a
Yes.
four-armed thing with tentacles instead of legs or something. Charles
like
beat it against the altar.
yeah,
didn't he?
like the goddess Kali had a baby with an octopus. A sentence I never thought I would ever say in any game ever.
Well, that was right. It was described as having four arms, but it had tentacles for legs. I believe.
Yep, four arms, each holding sabers with tentacles for legs,
See, the goddess Kali thing ain't such a stretch.
and kind of in like almost like a dwarven human form. The rest of it.
Hmm.
Concerned me more that there'd been sacrifices in that basement.
Well, I'm not aware of us coming across anything quite like that in other sort of cultist
Well,
places
no,
we've
but
been.
she is a migrant to here from further east than we've ever been. There are leads in Shanghai, for example, which of course is even further east. I think we're going to see some differences in what the cultists worship and in what they believe.
Yeah,
The further
because
east we go.
nowhere in India. India's not on the radar at the moment, is it?
No,
Well, it hasn't been at all.
no, but that doesn't mean necessarily anything. It could be a complete coincidence that we've had so many things talking about India.
So many things talking about India.
And my recollection may be somewhat sozzled.
Yes, the drunk, the invalid, and the guy who's fast asleep. This feels very productive.
We've learned it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Oh, is it, dear boy? Thank God for that. I don't think I could sprint at this point. Except possibly to the bathroom. Excuse me.
Oh wow.
Right, well, I mean, I can't think of any other leads that point to that thing, that god,
No.
as it were, that idol. But also, we've not come across. Wait, were there reports of missing people further north? I know, but none here. Were there?
No.
The reports of missing people were south, weren't they, around Endicott's?
I was going to ask, did you? Yeah, I take it we all saw that. We all got that passage about the leopard.
Given it's talking about the end of the world, I'm guessing Pranit showed us before bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I'll tell him tomorrow morning.
He would probably read it out, given it was important to him.
Yeah. But this, of course, is an import business. So maybe the people are being sent here.
Well, there does seem to have been an inordinate amount of people have arrived.
Of course, the other thing is, it is a divided culture. So do they even notice when undesirables go missing?
I sort of sit myself back down and I say, well, this could be the blended talking, but when our friend was mentioning that passage, something about leopards.
Maybe that's a little leopard. That's
well.
I
I was thinking about that gentleman with his hunting lodge talking about a big cat.
Like the one there.
Yeah, that's the one there.
Cato.
She's far too big.
I thought it was a newspaper that came up with a big cat story.
Yeah, that
Was.
was the newspaper.
Yes, and you know,
And she confessed to having
Hmm.
filled that piece of colouring in herself.
yes, but one does wonder. Just,
Hmm.
Probably because one is drunk.
one is not drunk. One is merely slightly tipsy, bordering on merry. You will know when I am drunk, madam. My inability to speak is legendary when I'm drunk.
Have another drink. I think I'll. I think I'll turn in for the night.
Righto.
Tomorrow being Saturday, we have several appointments. Obviously, there's the funeral on Sunday, but we wanted to go and see the captain at the.
Yes,
At
I
Fort
think
Smith.
I think that is.
But
First of all,
also there was a bar mentioned, Victoria Bar. Niles Nielsen
Hmm.
claims to have seen Jack Brady alive in Hong Kong. He should be, maybe he might still be here in Nairobi.
There are a few other people as well that you've not seen yet.
Mhm.
In
Well,
fact,
we
I was saying to Becky, it's interesting how you've seen most of the white people, but nobody else so far yet.
As far as I can tell, this whole damn country's white.
Only because you've interacted with them. But yeah, there are a couple more. Top of my head, there's
there's Kenyatta.
train
yeah,
station.
Johnston Kenyatta and Sam Mariga as well. Are the two that I was thinking of. Sam Mariga, he there's the words railway station next to his name as well.
Oh, the railway station.
Oh yeah, right. Well, we can try and cram as much as possible together tomorrow.
I don't even know why I look at the corkboard anymore.
Well, don't. You don't have to if you don't want to.
Hello, cat.
Hello, kitty.
Mm.
Oh,
So we should have a full day on our hands tomorrow anyway. Getting some of that done.
well, I think we're going to have to make priorities, and
Yeah, we can try and make as much as possible.
use our time wisely.
Yeah, but given the fact that almost everybody has important information we need, I'd say it's better we try to do everything. If we cannot, then we can try and squeeze another one in before or after the funeral and before the leaving for the lodge.
Yeah, I mean, going to. I think going to the lodge is a necessity, but there's no way we could have made it there and back realistically before the funeral.
No. We are going to the lodge after the funeral, of course. We already discussed this. But given the fact that we need to talk to people, and there's 3 of them, I'd say we could do everything tomorrow. And if we not, we just move someone on Sunday morning, given the fact that we need to talk to people. So unless they try to kill us or mutilate us in some sort of fashion, we should be good in a day.
Just to remind you, Pranit, a certain person is expecting you to go with her to the countryside after the funeral.
I said that I'll try my best to. Not that I will.
I know. I'm just reminding you.
Yeah, I'm not going in an open country We'd
You can shove your sword up her arse for all I care. I'm just making sure you know.
Well, I was going to suggest a slightly less gentlemanly, but probably more productively pumping her for information.
Well, yes, but what good would that do if he goes with a known murderer who's clearly quite capable of beating men up and killing them? Why would we send him alone with such a person? I mean, I'm sure Pranit has many talents, but when you're surprised by a sudden knife in the back, you are surprised by a knife in the back. And clearly she's quite capable.
Pranit, dear boy, if you do find yourself with amorous intentions, make sure your back isn't exposed.
Thank you for
Problem
the heads up,
solved.
Charles.
And on that moment of drinking and knowing things, I guess you finish up and turn in for the night.
Yeah. No, no. In all seriousness, I don't think you should go and see her on the Sunday. But if depending on the information we get on the Saturday, if it turns out we might need to confront her or try and get more information out of her, then yeah, I would suggest someone shadowing her. Because I have a feeling where she goes, her bodyguards will go with her.
Yeah, that's a very realistic possibility.
So it's not just realistically, it's not just a case of whether she stabs him in the back; it's whether the two bodyguards decide to
Just
stab you.
smash my face in.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get that. But unless it is proven absolutely necessary, I won't go Sunday.
I think that's wise.
I do believe the lodge is way more valuable given the task at hand.
She might not want to go Sunday, considering what happened tonight. She might be more
That too.
occupied.
We'll see. Hopefully, I won't bump into her tomorrow.
I mean, I suppose there's always a chance that she knows who we are already and she's just leading you along. So you'll be careful in that way. They all know there's just.
Well, we'll see. As I said, let's hope not to bump into her on Saturday because she may be able to recognize Annie and she might be a little bit more insistent on her invitation for the field trip on Sunday, and I really don't want to.
Plus, there's
Fingers
also,
crossed.
There's also the very real possibility that she will she'll put two and two together. You know, she might find it rather convenient that the one time she steps out with a very nice gentleman, she gets robbed.
Well, another point as well is the one of the bodyguards, or possibly two, I don't know, that saw you hang around the back door of the shop.
I rather suspect that we're going to getting a tail today.
Yeah.
Pranit and I should not go out together, and we should assume that we're being tailed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was that one guy you bumped into, and there were a couple of others who did go in, so you don't know if they saw you as well. But yeah, there was at least one that knows who you are, Pranit.
Super cool.
Plus, at the risk of a repetition, they already know we're here. Of that, if there was any doubt, they know we're here.
I was assuming the attack on the train sort of.
Yeah.
We told them that, but no, after the attack on the shop, they definitely know.
You know, they know. as has been usual the last couple of places we've been, but you know, the clock's against us. I'm not talking about a clock of any ritual or anything. I'm just talking about, you know, them hunting us, because they will be.
Most definitely.
I think the only reason they haven't attacked us in our beds is because they probably
What are we
want
looking
to
for
attack
here?
it.
What are we looking for here? We're looking for the cult leader to eliminate them? Is that what we're trying to do? What are we attempting to do here? Are we just trying to trace the Carlisle expedition? I think we need to be clearer in what our objectives are.
Oh, I was just thinking we were tracing the Carlisle expedition, but I think if we can come across an opportunity to stop the cult, we should.
Well, then we've clearly found somebody who is a member of a local cult, and we know it is one of these dark gods.
Yeah,
So
I
what do
imagine
we do about her?
I imagine she's quite high up, seeing the actual altar was in her cellar. She must be quite high up, isn't she? And we know this guy, Gavigan, was sending her stuff via Mombasa.
Yeah.
So what do we do about her?
Bump her off and bury her under her cellar floor.
I want to speak to the manager.
Well,
In answer to your question, you know, are we just looking at the Carlisle expedition, or are we looking to take down the cult? I would honestly say we're doing both, because ultimately the reason we're on this, the reason we're doing this is to finish Jackson's work.
Okay,
And I think
so
Jackson
I'll ask it
wanted.
again. What do we do about her?
well, there's not an easy answer or likable one, but we all know what we got to do with her.
Okay.
Still, I don't know if we can carve some sort of any more information from her.
So the question becomes, do we do it ourselves, or do we involve the police and the bodies in our basement?
Given the fact that involving the police is usually useless, given what happened with Gavigan and Shafiq.
The slightly bigger problem with the police is how quick, and it could just be down to the fact that they just want to believe the easiest explanation, but they seem all too quick to dismiss any other explanation other than the most mundane.
How do we
Which makes me wonder: are they, are they on
Well,
the tape?
perhaps we should ask the Colonial Expedition then.
But how do we
Colonial
explain we
Office.
know there's bodies under the floor in the cellar?
What difference does it make that just be colonial about it? They'll respect that.
We need to take her out of circulation. There's two ways of doing it, like Andy said, police or more permanently.
Well, I'd say like the British Colonial Office rather than, or whatever it was called, the government, as it were.
Well, there's the Nairobi Criminal Investigations Department, known as the CID. They're professional, but they're small. They have fairly modern investigative techniques. So
I'd
any sort of
imagine
big crime will be dealt with by them.
A number of bodies buried in a shop. They would probably clear the decks for that one.
Would it be feasible to send a message to the CID anonymously?
We could. I mean, we could quite easily pay somebody to deliver a note to the police department. That'd be easy.
Mm.
Use the payphone in the hotel.
Yeah.
It's anonymous enough. I mean, we could do that anyway.
Or do you just report maybe, I don't know, screams or
Bodies in the
something,
basement hidden underneath the tea.
or screams being heard from the shop, and
So
or someone being
I
dragged into the
saw
shop.
two people. I saw two men in red sashes carrying a suspiciously large package into the shop.
No, you just tell it as it is. There's bodies in the basement that are concealed by barrels of tea. There's a secret basement and there are bodies buried in it.
Hmm.
Don't require them to investigate. They'll get it wrong. I mean, we make enough errors.
Yeah, the only problem then is like Charles said, is her escaping the police like Gavagan did and Shafiq.
No, if we're going to put an end to this, we're going to really put an end to this, not involve police officers, because that's pointless, and they're coming back to bite our ass
Not
on another occasion.
Not to dampen rain on our parade just a little with regards. But if we're going to make this, if we're going to contact the police, I would suggest we do it this evening, albeit anonymously.
I don't want to be a stickler, but you're kind of having this conversation out of character. Pranit's already asleep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
probably
I
right.
thought we were
reasonable
having it in the
to-
morning. Sorry, I thought
You can have it in the morning, but there's
Well,
stuff
in that
that might
case, we
happen
need
in
to
the
do-
morning, so that's why I'm just
Yeah.
making you bear
I
in
got
mind.
carried away, my bad.
It's okay. You can have the conversation.
If it's the morning, then
my character went to bed ages ago then, because I too was having enough of the drunk. So the drunk and the invalid
Right.
and the sleeping
Okay.
person. It's not fair to
in
have
that
a
case, it is
conversation
now
with
the
somebody
next
asleep.
morning. Then if they're all
Fine,
talking
right,
together.
okay, right. So a couple of questions for me there. Obviously, it's now Saturday, 21st of March. Any sanity loss now resets. So again, I think with Pranit, you were fine again in terms of indefinite insanity, etc., etc. In terms of things like breakfast, where are you having it? Are you having it in your rooms? Are you having it
Have
in
it
a
in the
public
room.
place?
Yeah, in the
We'll
room,
have it in
so
the
we
room
can
because
have,
we need
so
to
we can
discuss
actually
what I
have
thought.
this conversation.
Yeah. That's what I thought, and that's absolutely fine. But I'm just double checking. One thing from me before I forget. You do get a knock on the door for the morning paper. This time it's from the East African Standard rather than Nairobi Star. But one headline does catch your eye in quite a depressing manner, which is local man found decapitated at warehouse in Kilindili Harbour, Mombasa.
Oh, fuck.
And one bit as well that catches your eye is that police believe the murder weapon is a large blade of sorts, perhaps a panga or a saber.
Wonder who could have done that.
Yeah, out of search me.
I mean,
And
he
you're
ran
planning
into it. It's
another?
fine.
Right. In all seriousness, though,
What?
in all seriousness, though, contacting the police anonymously or otherwise, if we're going to do it, we do it now, and I'll tell you why. Because they've now had a night. They know they've been raided. They know they're going to go into that basement. They're going to know it's been ransacked. Stuff has been taken. The statue's been broken.
Yeah, that's going to be pointless, though, to call the
why-
police, because they would have moved everything so that
Well,
we can't make any more damages.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
Annie,
if we were
Annie
going to do
did,
it, wouldn't wait till tonight either. I mean, that's just adding more time. But
Annie did raid the tea shop a little bit to make it look like a normal burglary. So perhaps it might be burglars that's just stumbled upon the cellar.
Would they take the chance?
Would burglars report it to the police? I was burglaring this property and I found bodies in the basement.
No. When I said about waiting to the evening, I thought that's because we were still on Friday night. No, if we're doing Saturday, if we're contacting the police about the basement, we do it now this morning,
Yeah.
or we don't do it at all because they've had a whole night now.
Yeah, to me, it's kind of pointless to do that.
In which case, we're taking these guys down ourselves.
Well, I don't think they're going to be able to move the bodies out of the cellar necessarily quickly. Are they?
No, they were buried in the cellar. We just found some bones. So even if they did, they could miss stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if we're going to report it, we need to report it now.
Yeah.
So it's report it or do something about it ourselves. Because taking it out of the shop isn't necessarily going to stop her. We need to take her out of circulation somehow.
Right. Well, who would do the deed? Because I'm not doing it.
Not reporting her.
Shooting her, or whatever it is to do to take her out of the equation. I assume you're not going to do it with arithmetic.
Murder is we've only actually fought in self-defense so far. Cold-blooded murder is
Exactly. It's a big deal. So shall I call the police?
yeah, probably the best. I mean, the other option is more certain, but yeah, if we want to maintain our own.
Unless we're going to turn Pranit here into a serial killer.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, Pranit is a killer. Yeah.
I mean, the police are already looking for him.
On several occasions and in different nations, I do believe.
Hence, you're international serial killer as well. You're globe-trotting.
Yeah.
How many have you killed in this country so far?
One beheading, yes.
Yeah, and that's made the national news. Okay.
Not an international man of mystery. International serial killer.
I killed way more in London.
Killing spree.
It just makes it sound like you need to have fled the country before you got caught. You've landed somewhere else and started again.
You see, I'm just concerned with overpopulation. I'm trying to do my part.
What worried me there was Pranit's pride in saying, I killed more in London.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
it was just a mere constatation of facts.
Yes.
Proudly stated facts.
Yeah.
I'm not finished yet.
Not finished yet.
Yeah, I want to change continent. That would be an achievement.
Okay.
Change investigation group.
Yeah.
So, Annie,
I feel
are you
so
phoning?
uncomfortable.
Report.
Annie, are you going to be phoning the police?
Yes, I'm going to go down to the hotel lobby and I'm going to phone the police.
Anybody
Criminal
going?
Investigation Department.
Okay. Anybody going with her?
I'm feeling a lot better. I will go with Annie to the lobby, but I want to go to reception and organise a walking stick or cane or something.
Okay, cool. Pranit, to be honest, from last night, you've had a fairly restless night's sleep. You feel quite drowsy still, quite groggy.
Yeah, I'm taking a moment to get down to the lobby.
Okay. And Charles, you're going to the drinks machine.
Charles is going to merely fill up his flask from the drinks cabinet.
Yeah. Okay. So Pranit, maybe you go to the water closet and sort of splash your face a bit. And your mind starts wandering a little bit, given again it's quite drowsy, you're not quite with it yet. You could do with maybe another cup of coffee if you drink that or if you're that way inclined. But you sort of splash your face and wash yourself and things. And you can't help but think about Taan Kaur and her feelings for you. And you start wondering about your homeland as well, back in Punjabi. and then you hear the
Punjab.
sound of a. Oh, beg your pardon, Punjab, and you hear the sound of somebody as you wash your face say, "He has potential."
All right. So my saber is always by my side.
It is.
So
yeah.
is my dagger. Where the fuck the noise is coming from? The voice is coming from. Is it in my head? No, it's not in my head.
Well, you look
Am I
around.
actually hearing this?
You're you're definitely hearing it. I don't know what the exact phenomenon is, but you know when you're kind of in between sleep and being awake, you can sometimes hear the sound of quite loud noises, or some people get that, like I get that. It feels like that, but it definitely is in your head. There's nobody inside the room or anything like that. You can't see anybody like out of your window.
Is it some sort of voice that I recall or reconcile with something that I've seen or experienced?
When you think about it more, you suddenly, almost kind of in a daydream, see yourself in Punjab in a very nice, elaborate building. Taan Kaur is at your side in a beautiful gown, and at the front, kind of welcoming you in, is the Black Pharaoh. And he smiles at you, looks at Taan Kaur again, and said, "I told you, he has potential."
No. Oh no. I have a vision of me getting married to Kaur by the black fucking pharaoh. All right. I don't feel like going out so much.
The vision kind of goes away very quickly, but yeah, yeah, I'm reading chat as well. Oh God, really, Ronnie?
Oh fuck. All right.
But you take a few sort of harsh inhales through your nose and maybe do a little prayer and things like that. Try and calm yourself and ground yourself.
Yeah.
Hold on. How in God's name was my comment worse than the one that preceded it?
I mean,
Because she actually needs to try.
Just on a connotation level.
it was the lack of subtlety, I think, that made me see it more.
Okay,
Yeah, straight to the point.
right. So she seriously wants to bone Pranit is less subtle than we'll kill him after breakfast.
It'd be rude to kill him during breakfast.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly,
There is
exactly. It's only
politeness to
rude.
that.
So civility that one must adhere to.
Oh yes, we're in the colonies.
Um,
Oh dear. Okay. On that note, maybe worth taking a short break.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. See you in a sec.
Oh, fuck indeed. Well, we'll see what the investigators do today. And if they survive. Look at this, drinking Coke at 9:30 at night. Not that it's product placement or anything. Huh. People are braving the rain outside. It's been raining all day. But like really hard, which is quite something for where we are. Oh, Steve. Either left us a comment. Bet they put their foot in it somehow. Huh.
Child luck.
I now feel slightly less self-conscious about drinking Coke at such a late time. Hello, kitty.
Yeah, it is quite late. I'm going to be buzzing through the early hours. Oh well. Oh, it's miserable weather up here.
Yeah, it's kind of chilly up here.
Yeah, I've had to get a
Chillier.
blankie. Got my African-inspired one. It's got some upside-down elephants and some upside-down camels.
Right, what did I have there?
What do you mean, bet they put their foot in it somehow, Stephen?
Oh, we were referring to our internal chat.
Have some faith in us. At least someone
It's a shame we
should.
can't publicly chat in this. It's because it
Hmm.
doesn't let us.
Yeah, it's a bit. Yeah.
Only Jason
For the
can.
greater good. Yes, only I can.
Except on Saturdays when only I can.
Wow, this weather.
Yeah, it's been light showers up here, but it's
Oh, kitty.
it's not been persistent. It's not been persistent rain. It has to be said. It's been, sort of.
It has here.
It's been getting worse and worse all day down here.
Like
Can
the
hear
morning
it.
was nice, but
Mm.
should man it Pranit off to tea lady and hope married life sorts her out.
See, Stephen knows where I'm coming from. Just love, love wins out. Just,
I
Slight
don't think.
issue with the consenting or non-consenting parties, though.
Yeah,
obviously,
just a tad.
obviously, we want both to consent.
And I do not.
Well, that's going to make the
Yeah.
marriage. That's going to make the wedding night a tad awkward.
All
A
right.
tad awkward. Now there's flood warnings and all sorts.
Well, not round
As
our house.
expected. No, but in our region there is.
We live on top of a hill, it's fine.
I wouldn't call it a hill, but it's a slope.
The poor people down the bottom get drowned. We're fine.
To be fair, actually, I do feel for the people at the bottom of the slope, and especially around the right, because there's nowhere for the water to go.
There's a field behind.
What? A field. Oh,
There is
field.
a
I thought you
field.
said that Phil's.
Although,
That's what I
behind.
thought you said.
If they
Yeah,
open the front door and
same.
the back door, the
Saying
water will run
that-
right through the house, right to the field.
I think the field might actually be raised up slightly, so that I think there's just
Yeah,
a
maybe.
ditch. Because
I was just-
build the house on the bit that flood, and then the cricket green is nice and safe.
I was about to remark, however, that's possibly the first time I've ever heard Jason show any compassion for people on the right.
Okay. Anyway, so that's what you hear / see, Pranit, as you're kind of finishing washing up. Again, the vision goes away fairly quickly. You do sort of hear his voice reverberating around the water closet a bit, and you kind of have to step out and take some breaths some more. Is there anything that you like more that you do, or do you actually go down to the lobby, or what do you want to do?
No, I just go off. I have a look around the suite
I'm still there.
to see if anything has changed. If there's somebody other than Charles.
Nope. Charles is just very much in his own little world, getting various spirits and concoctions together for his, I guess, meal plan of the day.
Mhm.
No, the flask will only ever have one. I don't do a mixer in my flask. That would be vile.
All right. So,
Vial, get it? Liquid, vial.
Unintended. That was not my intention. That
Mhm.
was
Yes.
happy accident. A bit like what we want the tea lady to have.
Mhm.
all right. So I just look at Charles. I just frown because I don't condone alcohol drinking, given my faith. And then I just reach the others in the hall, telling them that given the fact that I'm not feeling 100%, I'd rather, of course, accompany them, but let them do the talking.
Well, I need to make a phone call.
And
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I assume that you just did
as
while I was just washing my face, etc.
yeah, as everyone's left me alone, I suppose I better head down to the lobby. It's not much of a party when you're here yourself.
Well, we can do the phone call, if you want, and it doesn't really matter when, what order we do it in. But I know that Annie wanted to do that, and also Perry wanted to get some walking sticks, so you're down in the lobby as well and sorting out. So Annie, you asked to use the phone. They get it. They kind of pull it across to you on the desk, and they give you the number. And
Okay.
you get a British person on the other end once you put through, saying, "Nairobi Criminal Investigations Department. How may I assist?"
Do I have privacy to make this phone call?
Not at the minute, no.
I'm
It's
gonna
just a
ask for-
phone on the
I-
front desk.
I'd like to ask for privacy to make a phone call.
You mean you want us all to leave?
No, I would like a telephone that is private.
Oh. Yes, yes. And they take you down quite a secluded corridor. You don't think it's normally used by guests, but there is like another booth. Maybe staff use it. You don't know, but there is another phone.
Okay, and I'll do it from there.
Mm-hmm.
Once I'm alone.
Yep.
Hello.
Nairobi Criminal Investigations Department. How may I assist you?
Hello. I wish to report the discovery of human remains
Right. Very well. Where were these remains found?
in the basement in the hidden basement of a tea room. And I give the address.
I see. And you think you hear them writing it down. Are you an owner of this place? What is your connection to this tea room?
I am not the owner.
You are a client, a buyer?
Somebody who accidentally discovered human remains.
So you're saying that you accidentally went into a basement of this property
Yes.
and you found some remains?
Yes.
I see. Are we talking one body?
It was 4, wasn't it? Did you say, babe?
It was several. I don't know if I said 4 specifically, but it was definitely more than one.
Multiple bodies.
And
If
are
you
you
have
sure
a
that...
mis- If you have a missing serial killer, it's likely the bodies are there.
And you are absolutely sure that these are the remains of people, not animals?
I was at the time, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Yes,
you were sure.
absolutely.
I see. Well, thank you, madam. I believe there has actually been a robbery there in recent hours, but I will bear that in mind and let the detectives who are there know to have a look.
And then I hang up, having not revealed anything about myself. In fact, I meant to say I was going to fake my voice during it, but I forgot. So,
It's okay.
ho ho.
Ho hum. So Perry, yeah, you basically see Annie kind of go off to a secluded area, so you don't hear exactly what she says. But yeah, while you're there and you're getting some walking sticks, it does take a little bit of time, but they do have some spare from lost property where nobody ever declared them and things like that, or pick them up. But you start seeing more people come out. You think they've had breakfast now in the restaurant area, and they start talking about where they're going to go for the day and things like that. They start picking up tour guides and just sort of private guides as well and things like that. And it's definitely a mix of people here. There's white people, Indians, a couple of very rich-looking Africans, which interestingly you've not really seen many of them here before. But
Okay.
they look very kind of elaborate in terms of what they're wearing. And actually, you start hearing the sound of other European languages. So you think maybe there's a bit of French in there, a bit of German, as people kind of come and go.
Quite a mix, yeah. Yeah. Do they all seem to know each other, or?
You can make me a psychology roll.
Okay, psychology. That is an 8. That's an extreme success.
Oh, okay. So you definitely think, okay, so yeah, so they're definitely kind of talking to each other as if they're just sort of bumping into each other. And to start with, you think, oh, maybe they've just seen each other a couple of times and things like that. But yeah, you definitely get the impression that there's something, maybe they've not met each other before properly, but they either know of each other or there's something in common with each other that they know about, something that connects them.
Is there anything in common on the person? Are they all sort of like got similar signet rings or necklaces or?
No, not that you can see.
Okay, I'll tell the others that as well. That when they all came out, they all seem to have some sort of connection. They all seem to know.
They're definitely all cultists here. We clicked that the other day.
We've stumbled on the best hotel to stay in the cultist hotel.
It does appear to be something of a convention, yes. Maybe we should follow some of them.
Possibly. We've got quite a bit to do, but yeah, it might prove useful.
I'm spare, and I can't really be seen with Pranit just in case today. So
We can split up.
Yeah. Why not? I'm going to have a look around. I'm going to see if there's anyone by themselves.
Okay. Presumably anybody from the hotel by themselves.
Yeah, one of the guests. Otherwise, I'll
are
just
you-
end up with Pranit.
Yeah. Are you trying to pick on somebody who's going out, or does it really not matter?
At the moment, it doesn't matter. So we just
Okay.
need to kind of break the ice with some of these people, I think.
Okay. Maybe a luck roll.
Failed by 1.
You get into the bar and you do see somebody who is by themselves and they're sort of twiddling with their breakfast a little bit, and yeah, you kind of think, oh, they'd be perfect to maybe kind of linger around, but then they just start getting up and then heading out, and it gets a bit awkward to try and catch them.
Fine. Okay, I'm just going to force myself on some people and see if I can wing it.
Like you've done so in the past, I'm sure that'll go down very well. Okay, so there's more people now in the lobby, so I'll let you kind of decide.
I'll just go up to a group, a small group.
Okay.
I'll say,
Yeah.
oh, hello, you're here for the thing.
The thing. What's thing, ma'am?
Oh, sorry. Anyway, what are you up to today?
Well, we were hoping to go on a raft ride near the waterfall, possibly catch some elephants this afternoon.
That sounds delightful. Sorry, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Annie. I'm from Penhue.
Oh, and they sort of look at each other. I'm sorry. Whereabouts is that? Is that England, presumably?
Yes, the Penhue
Essex.
Foundation in London.
Oh, a foundation. Oh, right.
Yeah,
I
so
see.
yes, our founding member, Gavigan, was of course with the he was one of the financiers and indeed went on the Carlisle expedition.
Ah, I see. Yeah, okay. So you've obviously given them a couple of buzzwords and they're starting to realize who you are, although you think that they're still a little bit skeptical given how you've introduced yourself. But they're happy to kind of take you with them for the moment. You can actually see them looking you up and down a bit as well, maybe looking for something that signifies who you are. Give psychology a kick, by the way.
Oh, right. Oh, it already was. Okay, so I'm obviously not wearing the appropriate white flower or whatever. Can I have a look around? I know Phil just tried the same thing, but I've kind of got the same feeling that we're supposed to have a certain thing on. I glance around the room at a moment.
Yeah,
see if
give
I
me a
can
spot. Yeah, give me a spot hidden since you're making the effort to have a look.
No, I miss it. I can't. I haven't worked out what it is.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's wearing different things. Again, it's fairly well dressed, but no patterns that you can see.
Yeah, I'm missing the lapel pin or whatever it is. Well, yes, it'd be wonderful to come along, and then I'll make the point during the course of something to I'll be getting something out of my purse shortly, maybe a cigarette lighter or something, and
Yeah.
I'll get my Penhue Foundation ID card and sort of put that on the side to sort of emphasise I am with Penhue. Yeah, I've obviously just forgotten or haven't put on whatever lapel pin,
Yeah.
whatever I'm supposed to have on. Yeah, so I make a point that it's very clearly visible while I'm rummaging in my purse, and then sort of obviously go back after.
Okay. Sorry, where did you say you were planning to do that? Somewhere in the hotel, or once you're out somewhere?
Yeah, somewhere early on, like maybe passing a lighter to someone. First excuse there is to sort of open my handbag.
Okay, so probably you kind of get a little taxi together, and yeah, you can kind of sit on it. Obviously, not like a proper car, but like more like a cart, and you can all sit on it, and yeah, you kind of get out on your leg and stuff like that. Okay, as that's going on, let's jump to the other three. Well, more like the other one plus the two who are just coming down to the lobby. So yeah, you've managed to secure some sticks for yourself, Perry.
Oh, good. Yeah. I'm a little bit more mobile now then.
Yes. You
Oh,
are.
those look good on you, dear boy. Did they cost you anything?
No, they had some spare hanging about. Probably people left them behind when they left. But yeah, no, I'm feeling a lot better this morning. Good kippers at breakfast.
Make a mental note to give the person who's dealing with a lost property an extra tip when we actually leave this hotel. Just taking care of my man here.
Thank you very much, sir. Much appreciated.
What's the exchange rate on pounds? And
It's British pounds.
it's British pounds.
Yeah, so nothing.
Yeah,
No exchange rate.
just I'll slide him a 5. Put it in his
Yeah.
pocket.
He
£5.
is very appreciative of a £5 note. My goodness.
You could have bought the lost property for that.
Yeah.
All of it.
My friend here may need to borrow these walking sticks for an extended period. You don't mind if he hangs on to them for a few days?
What do you mean borrow? They're his.
Oh well, all the better then. Thank you.
Yes. And yeah, he quickly pockets the £5 note, or folds it up and pockets it.
That's quite generous of you there, Charles. That was.
That's only money.
So where to first, gents?
Well, I think perhaps Victoria Bar in the evening, maybe. So if we did the fort first.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Fort first, and then we'll come back in and do all the
other things first.
back in the town there. Because I don't like the idea of doing everything here first, and then we're looking at being out in the middle of nowhere or on the outskirts in the evening.
Let me just quickly get the map up.
That doesn't seem safe to me.
Because if I remember rightly, Fort Smith is a little bit out. Number 5. Oh no, not really. Okay. So, where's the Norfolk? Is that? Oh, actually, it's not too far away at all. Basically, you go across a large road that heads into the Asian district. You don't sort of really go down there for long before taking a right, and you see Fort Smith kind of by itself near a small creek. Lovely sort of plush lawns and things like that. So yeah, it's only a sort of short walk away from where you are, actually. And yeah, it is indeed the Nairobi headquarters of the King's African Rifles. So you do see people walking around in uniform, couple on patrol. You see a couple just sort of standing at the doorway with, I can never remember what the hell they're called. The rifles with the friggin' pikes on the end.
Bayonets.
Bayonets, that's the one. Yeah, they have bayonets.
As I said, I'm not feeling really well today, so if you mind doing the talking, that would be really appreciated.
Yeah, we could ask a sentry if we could point us in the direction of maybe the office to ask for a Captain Montgomery.
What do you ask one of the two on the door, or
Yeah,
keep
just
going?
someone at the gate. Where do we go? We want to see Captain Montgomery. Can you point us in the direction of admin office or guard room or something?
Okay. He says in a sort of a semi-Cockney accent, Captain Montgomery is only available on appointment, sir. You can go to the administration office just inside there, sir.
What, that over there, that building?
Just in right here, sir. And he is right next to a doorway.
Okay, okay. Oh, well, thank you very much, Trooper. Yeah, thank you. We'll make an appointment.
Okay. Yes, so you head on in again. There's more people kind of walking around. There's a few different offices for things. Lots of kind of colonial clues in here. So sort of big maps of Africa, globe, quite sort of fanciful looking. A few kind of more exploration type items you notice, Perry. So there's like a big sort of like a golden sundial actually near the center of this foyer, which you think is like an ornamental piece, things like that. But anyway, so you head on over to the administration office, which is really not more than just a booth of sorts, and it has a fairly young-looking chap, again dressed smartly, who's sitting inside, and he says, what can I do for you, sirs?"
Good morning. We would like to see a Captain Montgomery, if possible.
The Captain Montgomery.
Oh,
Yes,
the
well, there is only one. And he starts flicking through, you think, like a diary or something like that. He is quite a busy man, I'm afraid. If you don't mind me saying, sir, he does tend to be a little picky about who he's seeing.
Well, we would like to. It's quite urgent, actually. If we could see him as soon as possible, if you could relay a message to him and say, we're actually only in Nairobi for a short time, and it is quite important that we see him.
Well, I'm afraid a few people say that, sir. You can give me a persuade roll.
Well, I
Persuade. Oh dear. Okay.
Go on,
It's
Charles.
not going to end well. I missed.
What were we saying, Charles?
Yes, I was hoping that you would be a little more helpful to us. We're only passing through, and it is rather important that we see the captain. I don't suppose you could be terribly helpful, could you? We only need a few moments with him.
If you pass a credit rating, Charles, then Perry can have a bonus die.
Hey, I missed by 41, so yeah.
Fuck.
I was trying to charm.
Yes. Yeah, but still credit rating makes more sense.
Right. Would a hard pass help?
Yes, it certainly would.
You have a hard pass.
Great, that's 61. I've missed by.
Okay. Okay, well, okay, so he's not particularly vouched by what you said, but he takes a look at you, Charles, and says, well, if you perhaps wait here a moment, maybe you'll be able to see him for a few moments.
That would be immensely gratifying.
Well, I
Thank you
can't
so
guarantee. If you give me a moment, I'll see if he's available.
If you could perhaps mention to him, it's about Lieutenant Selkirk.
He kind of stops halfway from getting out of his chair at that and says, Lieutenant Selkirk? Oh, what about him, sir?
I'm afraid that's private. We can only talk to.
Yes,
Captain Montgomery
we do wish to discuss the lieutenant and certain aspects, but I assure you that we are.
With all due respect, sirs, Lieutenant Selkirk has been dead for several months, so it can't be that private.
you don't know what it's about. So I can assure you that it is private. Private.
He raises his eyebrows at you. Wait here, gentlemen.
Thank you
And,
very much.
Heads on over. Well, he kind of. Actually, there's like a little room just behind him that he goes into, and then you think maybe he goes to the corridor. So, ooh, who was that? Oh, yes. Oh, okay. Perry and Pranit, you can give your listen a tick.
Ooh.
Perry in particular, you got a hard pass. So,
Already had that.
the two of
Unfortunately.
you, the two of you, after a couple of minutes, you hear the sound of some raised voice. You think coming from where this man has gone. And with your hard pass, Perry, you definitely heard a bit before then saying, oh, yes, they're asking about the lieutenant and they say it's private. Who on earth are these people? And then you hear somebody else sort of cut across him and start shouting profanities. Tell them to get out of my sight. You know, that kind of thing. And a bit later, about a minute more. Sorry, I'm just getting distracted by Becky eating her own. You see him come back in a little flustered and says, the captain isn't interested. Sorry.
Oh, that's quite surprising. I suppose it's his loss.
He did ask me if you had any ladies with you.
Well, we do in our party, but not currently with us. No.
Well, then he's definitely not interested.
Any particular lady he's looking for, or?
It's not my place to ask about his preferences, sir. Your
Okay.
meeting, Ronnie.
At this point, I will casually sort of open my wallet. Just not bringing any money out, just simply to show that there are notes there of varying kinds. Ensuring that he can see a lady is not going to be a problem. That can be arranged the moment that we leave here after we have spoken with him. What do you say? In fact, depending on your preference, there may be enough here to ensure that you get to meet a lady as well.
Well, that's very kind of you, sir. But like I said, the captain is rather busy.
Yeah.
Well, with respect, with all due respect,
Yes, where it's due.
You have not told the captain of this latest development. I would suggest maybe you discuss that with him. I don't think it's important.
The captain isn't interested in money.
What's
No,
the name?
but he might be interested in the women it might be able to procure. Now, please go ahead and talk to him.
Give me a charm roll.
About bloody time. If I fucking fail this, I'm killing this character myself. Well, I made it.
Okay.
By just.
Okay.
I have 80 in charm, and I made it by 2.
Okay, still it's made. So he says, very well, I will explain this new development.
Thank you.
And he goes off, and again, you think you hear a little bit of, he's kind of relaying what you're saying. You don't hear raised voices this time, but you do hear the sound of a door opening down the corridor. And then because the floor is kind of marble, you do hear somebody just pacing very kind of steadily down towards you. And you see this man who has quite a large moustache that he sort of straightens up, and from Pranit you can see he's definitely got a captain's uniform on from your soldier years and things. And he got his hands behind his back in a kind of at ease position, and he looks the three of you up and down and says, I see that these are the proprietors of a certain lady I'm supposed to be expecting, but she is not here yet.
Well, no, we would have to have a conversation as to which particular lady you would like.
Perhaps we should conduct this conversation in a little bit more privacy.
Yes, that would be far more appropriate.
Perhaps I can take you into my office, and perhaps you can actually give me a proper explanation as to why you are here, gentlemen.
I'll go for that.
And he takes you in.
You do realize that if that hadn't worked, our only last hope was Pranit. And I say that only because Pranit had made it clear he wanted to take a step back from all of this.
Well, no, I think we had another option. There was something we could have perhaps done.
I was thinking ex-soldier. Maybe they served somewhere at the same time. That might have been a way in.
And he takes you into his office. There aren't really any other chairs specifically apart from his own in here, but still quite nice. Little ticking clock just kind of completing the ambience. But he sits down at his desk almost immediately and says, well, I suppose you better get on with telling me why this isn't a waste of my time.
Perry will walk over and sort of like lean against the window, sort of sit on the windowsill. He's taking the weight off his sticks and legs.
Those pantaloons had better be clean, sir.
Very clean, fresh on this morning, actually. Laundered in the best hotel in Nairobi.
Do get on with why you're here.
Perry?
Do you want to take this one?
I've said this before. Perry knows all the ins and outs of this. Perry and Pranit know all the ins and outs of what's needed here far more than Charles does.
Yeah, well, we're here about a subordinate of yours, ex-subordinate of yours.
Selkirk, yes.
Selkirk, yes.
Yes, and my administrator told you that he's been dead for several months, and I
We
certainly
are
haven't
aware of
invited
that.
you about his death.
We are aware of that, or we'd be talking to him.
I beg pardon?
Well, we're aware he's dead, otherwise we'd be talking to him if he wasn't. We're talking to you because he is.
I misunderstood. Yes. So why are you here about Lieutenant Selkirk?
There was something he was involved in a while ago that we believe there was some information we're after. He was involved in the location of the Carlisle expedition.
He was, yes.
Are there some sort of reports of the incident redacted by Lieutenant Selkirk himself by any chance?
Not really, no. There was a few witnesses we do have records for, although I believe most of them have either moved on or have died also. If you want to speak to an eyewitness, I believe, yes, Sergeant Bumption did go with the lieutenant at the time. He is still here, and I can call him in if you wish.
Were you his commanding? Were you Selkirk's commanding officer at the time?
Yes, I was.
He was a fine officer, I believe.
He was very fine. He was not the leader of the search party, but he was incredibly significant to the party.
If we could talk to the eyewitness, that would be really good. Thank you.
Very well. And he kind of puts a call through to somebody one of the kind of staff members outside, and he gets Sergeant Bumption over from one of the barracks. And you're kind of waiting in this slightly awkward silence. He doesn't offer you any refreshments or anything. But shall we switch back to Annie for a moment?
Yes.
As you kind of on your little taxi ride, aren't you? And you put out your what was it? A business card, wasn't it? Yeah, on your knee, and kind of getting out the cigarette lighter and things.
Yeah, or I don't know if I carried ID around when I was at work, but I would have brought that with me because as I said before, I thought saying I was from Penhu would open doors, so I must have some confirmation.
Yeah. And they do notice it, and they sort of glance at it for a moment, glance at each other, and one of them, this man who has quite a posh accent, but he definitely think he's either Nairobi descendant or at least he's African. He sort of looks at you, and he's got this cane that he's sort of resting on, and he says, that would explain your introduction, ma'am. I was not expecting any Brotherhood members to attend.
Well, it's what's the name of the guy that's running it now? It's Gavagan, isn't it? Running. Yeah. Well, Gavagan felt that I should be here.
Well, I'm surprised he didn't come himself, frankly. We've heard much about him.
He set me in his place.
Well, lucky you. And they do look a little bit kind of puzzled, again, the fact he's not here. But they're obviously happy to see you and happy that you are here. And another one kind of remarks to the man, oh, well, they obviously don't know what they're missing. Maybe this is a taster, but we obviously need to inform the Brotherhood, well, whoever's left anyway, that they need to get down here.
What do you mean, whoever's left?
Well, haven't you heard? From what I know, the Brotherhood up in England, at least, a lot of them dispersed.
Oh, don't you be believing rumours?
Well, no, it's not a rumour. I heard it in my prayers.
Gavagan has been quite successful in reasserting ourselves.
Oh. Well, where exactly?
Well, obviously, we've had to get rid of the play down the stuff at the actual foundation itself. But no, I'm more interested in what branch are you from?
Well, this one, of course.
All right.
The Bloody Tongue only has one branch, well, they do now anyway, ever since the hullabaloo in America. But no, we stretch far and wide in small communes.
Well, that's what I mean, being sort of far and wide. Which commune are you?
Well, there are a few of us south of France, West Africa as well. We I suppose we are quite a liberal cult in that we appreciate our Lord for his many forms. But I believe there are also people from the small crawler branch here. I think perhaps some from the Black Pharaoh as well. Not the English branch, the Egyptian branch, and maybe even from Asia as well.
Oh, good. Well, looking forward to that big date in January, eh?
Oh, yes, of course. Absolutely. It will be a most... And he almost kind of closes his eyes and breathes in as if it's the most euphoric thing he's ever felt. The most wondrous day of our lives, wouldn't you say?
Yes, of course.
Where are you planning to be on the big day? Are you going to be back with Gavagan or perhaps down here? Although I suppose it depends on whether any of us survives.
I think my place will be irrelevant compared to the glory of its lord. Of
Well, as long as you're on time,
course.
you wouldn't want to miss it.
So where exactly do you meet your particular cell? I'm just trying to place, because I'm struggling to place your accent.
Well, my accent is mainly West Africa. My mother tongue is French. What do you mean?
Yes, which cell? Which commune?
Well, we are still of the bloody tongue,
Well,
but we have another branch out in West Africa.
yes, you're saying another branch in West Africa, but what branch are you? Like, where is it you are based?
Give me a moment. I can't remember what it's called. Guinea.
Oh, interesting. Forgive me for being not quite up to date. I don't think I told your branch. Who runs that one?
Now you're asking me. He gives a name.
And then I continue to mine him for information.
Do you keep asking him about his branch or anything else?
Yeah, a little bit. I'll try and wander the conversation around a bit, so it's not like I'm interrogating him. But through the course of the day, I'm going to pick up everything I can without role playing a whole day. To just see what I can, places and names, if I can, addresses of cult locations and groups. Get as much information as I can on it.
Okay. Give me a charm roll.
Bugger. Far too nosy, it seems. Do I spend 53 luck?
You could push the roll.
I don't know if it's worth it because my charm skill's so low. What's the odds of a push roll succeeding?
Do it.
It's up to you.
You want me to do it for a 15% chance?
If you push, they're going to get suspicious of you. Well, if you fail the push.
Yeah, I think if your
Maybe
score was higher.
Yeah.
You might leave it now and get out.
I'll take a different approach. I'll start talking to him about occult things to see if I can push. Because obviously we know the end of the world's coming, but he also said something about, making sure I'm on time.
Mm-hmm.
So if I sort of redirect the conversation to occult matters, can I maybe figure out what each cult is expected to do on time?
Oh, yes, it wouldn't really be an occult thing per se, but you could try and, like, if you wanted to make an occult roll, you could think about, okay, what's the significance of that date? Maybe in occultism, if there's anything.
Sure, I'll try that because that is almost certainly a hard pass, I imagine. Yeah, that's a hard pass.
Okay, yeah. You definitely remember that, yes, there is definitely an eclipse on that day. You think from what you know, the eclipse is more sort of in the southeast part of Asia, kind of covering quite a big band, maybe the north of Australia, Indonesia, maybe
so it
a bit of
tallies up
China,
to that
Japan.
location of relay, doesn't it?
What, you mean the map that the others found? Yeah, it ties to the map. You also think back, is there kind of a trend? Like, are there any other eclipses that have happened recently? And you do remember there was an eclipse last January, which was a full solar eclipse. which was on the 24th of January. And you also remember it being a new moon as well, and you have a funny feeling that the next solar eclipse, this one coming in January, is also a new moon.
Mm-hmm. Right, and we're expecting this, whatever the local thing here is, on to be on this Thursday, isn't it? We worked out
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll say that he reaffirms that yes, it's on.
Well,
Tuesday.
yeah, well, I was going to say I'd reaffirm it's on Tuesday because that's something I know and I can use it to reassure him I'm genuine. But at the same time, I'm trying to figure out what I can mine from him. Because obviously I've gained the trust of a cultist here. This is like the opposite of what I did with Shafiq when I was playing Francois.
Just a little bit.
So
If only you
maybe,
had a painting to give him.
yeah. So I kind of just want to get him talking really to see what else I can get him to spill. I just don't want to do it with charm. Can I see if I can talk him into... Wait, we know we've got stuff to investigate in Shanghai. I'll ask you, so what have you heard about the Shanghai cult? Because I heard that Brady was out there causing some trouble for them.
Is that the bodyguard of the expedition who escaped?
Yeah, the Jack Brady guy. Is it Jack Brady?
Is he still alive?
I understood
Really?
so, that he was in Shanghai and causing them trouble over there. I wondered if you'd heard anything.
Your Gavagan needs to do something about him then. That is unbelievable that he is still alive, frankly. And yet I do somehow believe it. I have no idea what he's up to, but yes, that was where he was last spotted a couple of years ago. I don't know if he's trying to take down the cult there or if he's planning something bigger. I've not heard of any of his activity. It's very secretive.
Mm.
But I imagine that the Order there will find him soon if he's not careful. They are very powerful. Lots of contacts and so on, from what I know.
Well, it's been going on some time and no luck yet.
Well, yes, you would think. It's a little embarrassing. It may well be that he's moved on from there, for all I know. That would explain why they haven't caught him.
Well, could do. Yes. What about the local... Because he's not the local branch, is he? Or did he say it was the local branch?
No, he said he was Guinea.
He was Guinea. So what about the local group?
Oh, here in Nairobi?
Yes, wasn't there some business with the tea room being ransacked last night, I heard?
Oh, yes, I did hear that. It's, I don't know if it's some spat of one of her Mombasa clients or if it's something else yet. The police are still working on that. Why? Do you know anything about that?
No, I just heard about it this morning at breakfast. Somebody else was talking about it. I didn't particularly catch up on exactly what was said.
Well, perhaps the lady will not be able to make it. Who knows?
So they have the police in the pocket here, then?
I imagine to a degree, although she is Indian, isn't she? So, not completely, but she does have her influences here and various relatives running the roost.
Yes, fair.
From what I know, I believe that apart from Her Highness up in the north, this is her territory.
Her Highness up in the north. Is that... Is he... Are you referring to, what's her name? Shafiq?
No.
Sorry, Highness up in the north.
Yes, the High Priestess of the Bloody Tongue. Have you never met her?
Oh, I actually haven't.
You would know if you had.
No, I thought when you were referring to the north, I thought you were referring to Egypt. Of course, I've met Shafiq.
No. No, up in the mountains.
Oh, well, tell me about her.
She is a force to be reckoned with. The rumor is that she wears a vial around her neck of the blood of the Lord himself.
Wow.
And she has
Lucky
been...
woman.
She is most blessed. She has been a great influence on the world for the last few years, in fact. Again, only a rumor. But I hear that she called our Lord to her side several years ago. And since then, she has grown in her power and her influence. And this is where we come full circle in several days. Well, for her anyway. It is the how shall we word it? It is the final great rite before the even greater one.
And whereabouts is how did she do it? Where did she do it? I need to know everything.
Maybe you can ask our Lord himself if he appears to you.
Oh gosh, I should be so lucky. No, I feel that's more the domain of Gavagan himself than me, really.
Do you know nothing about our great Lord? He chooses for himself.
I know.
Everyone is replaceable.
I just don't really feel worthy, you know. But no, I mean, well, see, I kind of want to ask him, like, A,
How
her
deep
name,
do
and
you
B,
dig?
where she is. But at the same time, if I'm expected to know that, because if that's what we're here for, I'm worried about giving myself away. But I think I'm going to push it.
Player, because character is not here. Player is saying no.
Character, whatever, is going to push it. And so, which branch is she actually in, though? I mean, it's so like she's in the north of where are we? Gosh, Nairobi, I think, isn't it? But like, where is she based? Like, because that must be hallowed ground now for the Black Pharaoh.
Well, yes, it has been hallowed ground for at least several years.
Yes, I'd love to walk it.
Well, you will, isn't that why you're here?
Well, I suppose it is, yes. Oh, but now I think about it.
Well, why else would you be here?
Well, yes, he sent me here to meet everyone for the gathering, and of course, now that I think about it, oh gosh,
Are you getting cold feet?
No, I've just realised I haven't written everything down. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. God, what a klutz! You wouldn't believe I'm a researcher, would you? And yet, that's my job. Oh.
No, and your master seems far more incompetent than I've heard. I'm surprised he broke out of his prison.
Oh, he's very competent.
And yet he hasn't even told you where we're meeting.
No, he did. That's my error. Must apologise.
He doesn't say anything, he just kind of twists his stick a bit into the wood underneath him.
I'm sure it'll be in my notes. I'll just have to. They'll be at the hotel.
And he starts talking with other people and tries to ignore you from that point on.
Okay. Right, so we need to find out where this thing is happening. Because we have got to stop it. That sounds like the Black Pharaoh himself's going to be there, though. I'm wondering if this is just player thinking here. I'm wondering if the thing to do is actually to stop it before it even gets there, rather than find out where it is and then have to face the Black Pharaoh. Maybe we just kill everyone.
Immediately to either somewhere around Colonel Endicott's lodge with that evil tribe, or
That's
or
down
this black,
south.
or the Black Mountain. That's up north, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, way
Yeah,
up
the
north.
The
Yes.
lodge is the other direction.
Oh, then I'll mention that to him when I think about. Oh, of course, yes, the mountain. Oh, what a clutch!
Of course, the mountain.
I know. I'm so sorry. It's just there's so much information I've had to take in over the last few days. I get overwhelmed with it. Only so much fits in.
I will not judge, for that's our Lord's to do.
Actually, no. Now that I know where, I actually don't need to talk to him more, do I?
Like, bye!
But yeah, I'm actually thinking a mass murder in the hotel is probably the better option.
We are burning. it
I
down.
have been pushing this for a couple of sessions now,
You
and
have
the
to be
more the more we're learning, if we're going to stop this realistically, if we're going to stop this, then we have to stop all of them, which means we've got to get them in one place at one time and take them down
Without there being a Black Pharaoh present.
without there being a Black Pharaoh present. And the only place we know where there's a significant number of them is at this hotel.
This hotel and the tea room.
Yeah. So either we take them where we know they are, or we find some place to corral them and take them out that way. Either way, the latter option is far more logistically difficult.
Well, they're going to be fairly exposed on the way to the mountain.
Yes.
Depending on their deciding to go to the mountain.
In the city, though, we've got the police department. I mean, possibly the military to deal with.
Yeah, but going to the mountain is about a path that must be walked because no cars are able to go through there.
Well, they're going to have. They won't be able to walk to the mountain. They're going to have to go a certain amount by train or car or something.
There's no train or car
Personally,
routes. It's all foot.
yep.
Well,
Personally,
from Nairobi.
From Nairobi, yes.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it'd be taking longer than that.
Personally, if we're going to take them, I'd rather take them before they do the walk of shame, because there's too many variables involved. We
Anyway.
can't afford to let any of those bastards get to
Presumably
the mountain.
Before we have this meta call, I need to finish off here, and there is one more piece of information I need to get from them before I get meted. So when are you heading up?
Well, later today. It'll be a long trek.
Of course. Yes, because there's no real transport, is there?
No, our Lord wants us to pursue his greatness on our own 2 feet.
Oh, so have you checked out of the hotel already? I didn't think to do that.
I will do that later. But as you can probably imagine, it is not exactly significant.
Oh, no, sorry, I was just thinking of logistics. I know, too much goes in. Sorry. Fuck with me, Star Chance. I have to get them on the way. Okay, that's as much as I think is useful.
Okay.
From here.
Let's jump back to the other 3 then, since you're sitting in the captain's room. What office was it? And yeah, about 10-15 minutes later, you do get this guy come in, this sergeant called Bumpsham. He is quite a plump guy, especially round his front, and he kind of puffs up his chest, but of course his stomach comes out as well. And he's in sort of a sergeant's uniform and things. And he stands to attention at the captain and so on. And the captain says to him for a moment, these gentlemen, they want to know your tale about what you saw up there, old boy. And he looks a bit taken aback. He obviously wasn't expecting this, but he takes a deep breath and he relays it to you, which he will do in the medium of a handout.
Ooh.
He's come prepared.
Yes, yeah, he gets on a piece of paper and everything, and he says in a maybe like a Croydon accent, something like that. You were right, horrible. I see nothing to match it. Bodies everywhere, not bodies, mind, but bits of bodies. An head here, an arm there, torn to shreds, like you would a newspaper. Something grabbed those poor buggers and chewed the hell out of them. Begging your pardon. You would have thought the jackals and buzzards would have had him down to the bone by the time he arrived, but the locals said the animals shield off and wouldn't touch the free meal. Even animals get bad feelings, I'm thinking. Well, I never want sight of such a thing again. And his mind starts wandering a little bit, as if he's reliving this trauma of what he saw. I can help with what I can if you've got more questions, but
Were there any tracks around the bodies? Any indication of where they came from or where they were going to? Or
nah. Few scratchings and scritches, but no tracks or anything.
and was it just bodies? Were there any equipment from the expedition there?
No equipment. Maybe a few small satchels, personal belongings, but no equipment like pickaxes or nothing.
What color were the bodies?
Well, they wore light colors, I believe. Sort of, I don't know, whites, beiges, loose pantaloons.
No, were there any Caucasians amongst the dead?
Oh. And you see him look at the captain almost like he's asking for a prompt. I think there might have been a few. Yeah. And again, he sort of looks back again, and the captain's sort of nodding. Yeah, 4, 5. The rest were guides and the like.
Four or five. How many men and women?
One woman. The rest were men.
And you could tell that there was one woman and 4 men, considering how ripped apart these bodies were. Then,
Well, not all of them. Like I said, there was a head of one, an arm of another, and yeah, I do remember pointing out a woman in a terrible state, obviously, sir.
So just for my own foggy mind, when you say one woman and 4 men, that's your sort of educated guess rather than an actual established fact.
Well, it's not my place to say full facts or not. And again, he glances down at the captain, who's just completely staring at him at this point. I was there with a few other men, Lieutenant Selkirk as well. You mentioned, and I saw what I saw. I wasn't in charge of the bodies or nothing. They were all taken and dealt with by the authorities down here.
He
You
did
actually-
say that the bodies were white. Is that correct?
What are you asking me? Sorry.
Yeah.
He said they were white.
Yeah, I don't believe him.
Yeah. No, we know for sure, and this is me player talking, that this is bullshit. Also, as far as we're concerned, the Carlisle expedition had 2 women, not 1.
I say we've got him on the ropes.
No,
I think we should just. I think we should just push on this guy now
I
with
think
that information.
I don't think that's going to work for the captain, though. That's the only thing. We need to catch him by himself.
Yeah, I was going to say that. We need to ambush him outside of this office.
But he's obviously wrong, because there was 1 woman, but there was, in the expedition, there was Roger Carlyle, Aubrey Penhue, Robert Houston, and Jack Brady. Well, we know Jack Brady survived. So if he says there was 4 or 5, then there wasn't 4 men.
No.
There were only 3 men and 1 woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, given the fact that the women were 2, Ipasha Masters and the black lady, I always forget the name, the one that
I think Becky forgets it as well.
bewitched Carlisle,
Bonet.
according to Erica. Bonet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's
I think
2.
if they were that ripped apart, they'd be less certain about numbers, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
You see the captain he's got his hands a bit like this, and he starts sort of slinking down and says, I think Sergeant has had enough of this interrogation, gentlemen. He's obviously getting a little uncomfortable by reliving these memories.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Being a former soldier myself, I know that reliving trauma can be as much as traumatic as it was the first time, so we won't need him any further if he needs to recollect his thoughts on going back to his duties.
You get my hint in a very roundabout way.
I'm sorry?
He chuckles and he looks at the 2 white men of you.
Well, yes, I don't think we're probably going to learn any more here this visit.
Good.
Will you be here, Captain? Will you be here if we need to come again? Will you be here maybe next week?
I will check my diary, specifically personalized for the 3 of you, shall I?
If you could be so kind.
Yes, I would pencil us in for for an immediate meeting should we require it.
I mean, would
And,
you be available Monday or Tuesday if we needed to visit?
You will get my lady that you promised me, will you? You seem to have forgotten about that.
I have not forgotten, sir. There are many things in this world that my adult brain does forget. However, wine, women, and song are 3 things I never.
Well, go and get me a very beautiful lady, and maybe I will see you Monday or Tuesday.
And when would you like the lady? Monday or Tuesday?
Surprise me. Because I personally think you haven't got one. You're just trying to see me for no reason.
Oh, we'll always
Prove me wrong.
Okay.
It's amazing what a libido will do to a man's cantankerous nature.
We will. Obviously, we've taken up a lot of your time. We'll say goodbye and see you next week.
And he kind of sighs and gets up, and as soon as you're out of the door, he shuts it.
Okay. Has the sergeant left with us?
The sergeant kind of went out and was lingering a bit in the corridor.
Okay.
Yes.
See, Sergeant, would you mind showing us to the gate? I think we've probably forgotten our way in.
Yes, of course, sirs. This way. And you see that you don't know if it's because of his build, but he is sweating now quite a lot, like with his brown things.
Sorry, you didn't seem entirely sure about the color or race of the victims you found on the plane.
It was a few years ago, sir. You've got to forgive me for not
Yeah,
remembering
I'm
everything
sure
about
no
it.
one would forget that sort of incident.
Well, it was a lot of bodies, sir. It was a lot to get through, and it was a long time ago, and what I saw was quite horrible. I didn't really want to say in front of the captain, but I'm trying to not really think about it, move forward, think about the future.
I'm sure a good party in your next R&R would be would help you recover.
Am I
Wait, so what?
organising a party now?
I could buy you a few drinks next time you're off base.
Oh, all right. I'm not a big drinking man, but if you're buying,
well,
sure.
whatever you fancy then, and I'll take a £5 note out and so just take some time to relax and recuperate from the events of that.
All right. Thank you. Will I be seeing you at the Defender as well, or
At the what? Sorry.
well, where I'm spending this?
Oh.
The Lord Defender. It's mainly for soldiers, but I'm sure you'll be let in.
Very possibly. We are quite busy at the moment. We're on a bit of a time schedule. We have places to be. We have a funeral tomorrow, and then we have to be down south. But yeah, if possible, we will make it if we can.
All right. Well, anything else I can help with? I guess you know where I'm going to be after duty.
And if you remember any more, we'd be interested in hearing.
Well, how do I get in touch with you? You said you're going to be all over the place.
If you could leave a note at our hotel.
Which one are you staying at?
If you leave a note for us at the Hampton house.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah. I'll
Is it Hampton house we're at?
No, we're not.
No.
just leave a message there and say that
yeah, all right.
Mr. Astor will pick it up when he returns.
All right. Yeah. Oh well, I'll try and remember, but like I said, I'm trying to forget about it. Honestly.
Well, like I say, anything you can tell us will be greatly appreciated, and you keep the money to yourself. Buy your squad a drink. It's entirely up to you.
You can give me either a charm or persuade roll, but you can do it with a bonus die given you've given him some manners.
I don't think it's really going to make a difference for a bonus die, but
charm or persuade?
Maybe it will.
Yeah, maybe it will.
Okay, that is a... Oh, it did make a difference. Okay, so would you rather charm or persuade?
Well, it's up to you. That's why I gave you the choice.
The one you succeed with.
With the persuade, that is a pass by 1.
Okay. So he does sort of relax a little bit and says, all right, obviously I can see you're important and you're doing something important. So I'll see what I can do. All right, but no guarantees, sir.
Greatly appreciated, and we'll maybe slip something else beyond the desk at the hotel for you as well.
Oh,
thank you very much, Sergeant.
You're welcome, sir.
Yes,
he,
and
he got the
we are
sun
grateful
dial
for your continued service, sir.
You salute like an American, if you don't mind me saying, sir.
I'm amazed I can salute at all, sir.
Okay.
He doesn't normally raise his arm quite that high.
Exactly, a little hand-eye coordination. Just
Okay. Excuse me, Annie. Because you kind of got your stuff and what you need, you're a little bit away from the main town, but you can make your way back if you want to make a quick exit. Okay, so you do. Are you planning to meet back up with everybody?
Yeah, find the others in a panic.
Okay, yep. You find them fairly easily as you're kind of making your way back to the hotel. You actually see them on the other side of the creek, just coming out of Fort Smith.
Okay, how many soldiers do you have? We need them all now.
We have a nice round number.
Good. So, all the cultists that are staying in this... Not good at all. We need allies quickly. Right. All of the cultists in the hotel are here to summon the Black Pharaoh for the last trial run before the big day when the world ends in January. Right. Now I've got that out. They're heading out of the hotel today because they're walking up to the mountain. There's cults from all over the world here. This is our chance to really hurt them. But we need to hit them en route. We need more guns because they'll just magic us. There are very powerful magic users here. And if we wait until Tuesday, it's too late because they'll have the Black Pharaoh and God knows what flying around.
I
We've
would
missed
suggest
our
then
best
that
chance.
I'm going to have to find a woman very quickly.
Well, you do whatever it is you need to do, you drunk. I'm going to try and get us soldiers.
No. The reason being, it's the best way to get an audience back with the captain again, so we can ask for his help. He's expecting us to go back with.
And what are we going to tell him? Given the fact that probably is covering up
we need a
the
squad of
whole
soldiers to
Carglass
shoot
expedition
civilians.
fiasco.
So we either confront him directly on whether he's lying, and if he is, find out why.
Yeah, but
Well,
what are
he
we
is
going to
lying.
say? He's never going to give us a squad of soldiers to shoot at civilians. It's just not going to happen.
Well, he obviously knows more. If he's covering for Carlisle, he obviously knows more of what's going on. So until we know what, I
did probe him. I did probe him. It doesn't seem like he's going to go to he's not involved in the ritual because he's going to be there on Tuesday.
How many cultists, give or take, are there at the hotel?
Are you asking me?
Since you're the keeper, yes.
It's
a general idea of the number.
It's a very specific question. So, I mean, again,
you said a lot, but a lot could be 10, could be 20.
Yeah. Well, again, because you don't know exactly like if every single person staying at the hotel is a cultist for starters, but it's certainly been a lot busier than it was when you first arrived. What I'll say is that it's increased like maybe twice as many as you got when you were first there, and also I will say that you've noticed more people coming in from the train today as well.
Oh fuck!
Another sort of 20 or so people.
So in sort of guesstimate.
All right.
What are we looking at?
So if you're thinking every single person in the hotel is a cultist, plus every single person who got off the train today, then
hundreds of
good
people.
sort of 70, 80 people at the least.
I mean, they could be staying at other hotels as well.
So
it's 100.
We need more than just military. We need the military with a Gatling gun.
Yeah. I don't believe there's an. I mean, we don't know for sure, but it is very unlikely that everybody that's leaving today is staying actually here at the hotel, for starters.
So even if we hit this hotel, then you're right. I mean that there could be others that end up, which means we're going to have to hit them on the road, which I really did not want to do.
I mean, there's
Yeah,
gotta
me
be-
neither. But the only way to hit them en route is going with them en route.
Well, there's going to be innocent people in the hotel.
There's going to be, sorry?
Innocent people in the hotel. So that is really
Yeah.
dangerous.
No, that's out of the equation. Not dangerous.
They'll all be checking out at different times. That wouldn't work to hit them at the hotel. We're going to have to get them en route.
Yeah,
That
Which I
means
really-
joining
before
them
the
en
ritual.
route.
really didn't want to do.
Or
There's
at the
two-
mounting before the ritual.
Oh, fuck.
No, that's that. There's too many.
Also,
There's too many ways
also-
that can go wrong.
time out. Also, Kaur very likely will be en route with them.
Who will?
The tea
Kaur.
lady.
The tea
Love
lady.
Yes, well, they have powerful magic users here as well. Just to complicate matters, they're currently at the mountain. So, you say this man responds to ladies? Well, it's just maybe time he met me.
Wasn't quite what I was going to suggest. I wasn't going to place you in a position where you might be asked to impugn your honor, but
Oh, dude, no such bloody thing.
I bloody hope so. I have one possible suggestion. The military would be a good idea. Certainly, they may not shoot the bounders, but they may round them up and arrest them and hold them. I suppose even just preventing them from going to this mountain for the ritual may be enough, at least in the short term.
There are things each of these cults have to do in order to bring about the big summoning next January. We need to stop them. Our best chance of doing that is to eradicate as many of them as we can.
Yes, I was just wondering. There is one other possible consideration. That man who runs the hunting lodge. I wonder what kind of game he'd be willing to hunt for the right money.
I thought he was one of them.
He could have a nice bunch of friends who are hunters. We could point them in the direction of the cultists and say, "Big game."
We've got to travel a day out there to find out if he's one of them or not. We can do it, but that puts you in the wrong direction for half a day when they're setting off.
I know.
Oh, in a couple of hours.
I know. If we go there, we're going to lose them because it would be too much playing catch up.
There are a couple of hours. There are two possible extra places to find more people with guns, the military or the police. We know that they have some influence over the police. Oh, I found that out too.
Is it possible to plant something illegal on them and get the police to arrest them, do you think? Or how far in did you
Probably
get
not.
with these guys, Annie?
They think I'm one of them. They think I'm from Penny. I am, but they think I'm a cultist with Gavigan.
The thing is, planting something illegal, if they have any influence at all, that's not going to last long.
They have people in the police. They haven't got all of the police, but the tea lady has relatives in the police force.
There's no
So
way
anything you plant will just vanish.
There's no way we can just shoot them all on the trail though. It's just not gonna. It's too
We
many.
need more guns. That's why I think we have to go to the army. and we need to get them moving in the next few hours if we're going to. So the only thing to do is, frankly, an open checkbook with a good supply of prostitutes, and I go in there and smile at him first.
Unless we talk to our sergeant and see how much his squad would cost for the weekend.
Without the captain, it's probably not possible.
We have
Unless we
Pranit,
can
we have
convey-
Pranit to direct.
Unless we can convince the British consulate to give orders. You know,
What about going above
the
what about going
colonial
above-
office.
What about going above the captain and going to the commanding officer?
That's another option.
Perhaps
So why don't
Charles
we
can.
try this from multiple angles?
Yeah.
If I go to talk to the captain,
I can hit
Charles
the colonial office.
yeah.
And me and Pranit could go to the bar and talk to the sergeant.
Mm-hmm. Perfectly fine.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll all
Unless-
head off in a different direction, and hopefully one of us will succeed. And failing that, we just have to kill as many as we can on the trail. We'll do like a paint black stripes on our face and try and pick them off.
Let's hope we just do better than in front of the tea shop.
Well, I don't claim to be a fighter, but at least I came up with something to buy the imbecile time who was so drunk he couldn't walk upstairs.
It's like I'm hearing her voice all over again.
Just
I'm hearing
something-
things today, guys.
there's something heartwarming about that. It could be the drink. It could be the heartburn.
Okay.
I mean, would the local tribes be willing to help us? Do you think if they're against the black?
Well, you've got 2 hours to find out.
Yeah.
This is the problem. We're in.
That's why I'm
We're
looking at people we've already contacted.
so
2 hours to find out.
we don't have time.
I mean,
We have
because you've got to
we have
establish
one
whether
job.
they're
We've got to
cultists
go
or
for
not.
us.
Start poisoning the food in the restaurant now. In the hotel.
Okay, well, let's end it there for the day. But what I will say is, as you're kind of trying to work out what on earth to do, and now you're in quite a bit of panic, Pranit, because you've been a little bit quiet, you've got a view of the hotel just sort of from where you are, and you can't help but notice a thin wisp of smoke coming from one of the rooms.
Oh, God.
Our rooms.
You don't know for certain, but it's one of the guest rooms, sort of up a couple
Well,
of floors.
our
yeah.
rooms are they've got the penthouse on the top.
Oh yes,
we're right on
in
top.
that case, it is the top floor.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I'm rushing in,
Okay, but yes, we'll
And
leave it there on
just
that
screaming
fiery
at.
cliffhanger.
Yeah,
Charles, did you go ahead with your plan?
our fucking
No!
room
I'm
is
completely
on
innocent.
fire.
Is that what you're typing? Our fucking room is on fire.
Yeah, that's my summary,
Oh my-
so I can write as I please.
Oh yeah, who's doing next summary next week?
It
Pranit.
should be Ronnie.
Oh, yeah, it is
No,
you.
it should
Oh,
be,
It should be
I thought
me.
you said it's
it
your
should
summary.
be Ronnie
had all-
before me.
Yeah,
Ronnie.
yeah, we've had 4 sessions. It's back to me again.
Back to you.
2,
Wow.
3.
And,
Yeah, it's
and
fine.
I just want to make mention of one thing. If there's a fire
Mhm.
happening in our room, there's a whole load of booze there.
Yes, there is a whole load of booze. That's a
No,
good
it's all
point.
empty.
I
How many
didn't
days
go.
have
I
we been
wasn't.
there?
I
It will
wasn't
probably
that.
be replenished. It's fine. I haven't forgotten about that.
No, I was
Well, maybe
rather
not fine for
hoping-
you, but
All right.
Oh God.
well, you're a bit sport for choice now. But I hope you enjoyed that.
Yes,
That was really good.
yes. I'm
Yes,
not
it's
sure. Spoiled for choice is. What did?
He may be quite tired. I don't know, but I'll message him in a second. But let's end the broadcast anyway. And
good.
yeah, we will see you on Saturday.
See you later,
And then
Stephen.
Thursday
Hope you
on
enjoyed it.
Twitch.
Bye, Steve.
Please know I remembered. Thank you, Steve, for watching. Anybody else in the future? It's getting tense again. And we will see you later.
Very
Bye.
Bye.